In this third video on the basics of music, I'm going to talk about a song's key signature and its relationship to a musical scale. So just remember that there are 12 notes total that repeat in increasing or decreasing octaves, and that those notes get their names with the letters A through G, and sometimes are also designated with a sharp or a flat sign. Now, a scale is a series of musical notes that follows a specific pattern. And most of the time, a scale will not use all 12 possible notes. The name of the scale has two parts. The first part of the name is the name of the very first note played on the scale, and this is called the tonic note, or sometimes it's called the root note. And the second part of the name of the scale is the name of the pattern that the scale is going to follow. So, for example, the C major scale begins with the note C, and it follows the pattern of a major scale, which you might know as Do, Re, Mi. So I'm going to play the C major scale for you now. Now you can compare that to the D major scale. It's going to follow the exact same pattern, Do, Re, Mi, but it's going to begin on a slightly higher note, the root note, the tonic note, D. So there are tons of different kinds of scale patterns out there, and you don't need to worry about the vast majority of them. There are three common scale patterns in particular that will be useful for you for this class, however. The first is the one that I was just playing, the major scale, the Do, Re, Mi pattern, and this has 7 notes. So once again, here is the C major scale, beginning on the tonic note, the root note, C. Now compare that C major scale to the C minor scale, which is also going to have 7 notes and is also going to begin on the tonic note C, but is now going to follow the minor pattern. And the third scale that would be worth knowing for this class is one called the Pentatonic Scale. It gets its name because it only has 5 notes instead of the 7 notes of the major and minor scales. So here I'm going to play the C major pentatonic scale. And you might note that in that scale played there are actually 6 notes, but that 6th and final note is also the note C, just repeating 1 octave higher. So now when we talk about songs are usually going to be talked about in terms of the key or key signature. And the key is not exactly the same thing as a scale, but for our purposes the difference is really negligible. A song's key signature tells us what scale is primarily going to be used for the notes and chords that get played in that song. Now, a song can still use notes and chords that are not in a particular scale, but for the most part it will stick to the notes of one scale. Songs that use major keys are often going to sound happier and more upbeat, and songs that are in minor keys often are going to be a bit on the sadder side. It's also worth noting that a song can change its key mid-song. So, for example, a song may begin in C major, but halfway through the song or towards the end of the song, there may be an increase in intensity that is marked by a switch into D major, for example.